September 17, 2023. New York. Iran's nuclear program was put under the spotlight at the UN General Assembly. Both U.S. President Joe Biden and his Iranian counterpart Ebrahim Raisi will speak at the UN General Assembly on Tuesday, September 19. The long-awaited U.S.-Iran prisoner exchange is expected to take place in the coming days before the talks. While prisoner exchange, which would release 5 people from each side, may seem simple, when it comes to such swaps, the Biden administration has been criticized by Republican critics for release of $6 billion in debt to Iran. Elizabeth Hagedorn reports. South Korean banks. As Adam Lucente reports, these funds were frozen under U.S. sanctions when the Trump administration withdrew from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action in 2018. They were transferred to a restricted account now controlled by Qatar. Prior to U.S. withdrawal from JCPOA, Iran had complied with terms of agreement. Since then, Iran has moved closer to the nuclear weapons threshold, reducing the breakthrough time from years to months. The plan appears to be that $6 billion transfer, rather than release of prisoners, will be a down payment for Iran to stay below nuclear threshold and contain potential for escalation in Lebanon, Iraq and other flashpoints in region. Everything has a price for Iran. Tehran sees nuclear dossier as both leverage and protection in relations with the United States, especially if a more hawkish Republican administration wins White House next year, and in terms of its deterrence stance against Israel. In Tehran's view, nuclear card should not be given to anyone. This was the purpose of JCPOA. Iran sees all of this as an ongoing, possibly endless negotiation, also affected by shifts in the global balance of power as its policies become more consolidated and aligned in the East, namely with China, Russia. Critics of Biden's approach do not believe that Iran should be talked to on many issues. They mostly ignore the U.S.'s increasingly stronger deterrent stance and pin their hopes on sanctions. Regime change. From a deterrence perspective, the US-Bahrain security agreement announced this week is being touted as a model of ministration's commitment to its Gulf partners. Jared Szuba reports. The U.S. pursued a peace agreement between Saudi Arabia and Israel, although often, but not exclusively, framed as an extension of the Abraham Accords, would be a potential cornerstone this deterrent posture if the parties can achieve it. The question at UNGA this week is whether prisoner exchange can provide a new opening for diplomacy and build on regional initiatives, such as ongoing Saudi-Iran rapprochement, that appear have contributed to progress in diplomacy and war in Yemen. In the nuclear dossier, hopes for renewed diplomacy will be tried under fire at the UNGA. The latest report from the International Atomic Energy Agency regrets that no progress has been made in resolving outstanding safeguards issues during this reporting per